Hello everyone, very good morning to all of you students. Coming back to the session of the subject Building Construction Technology. So students, we have been discussing about the module which is regarding the masonry construction. So now, up to now we discussed about the what are the different types of masonry construction, what are the technical terms regarding the same, which we are also going to use further when we study step by step each type of masonry construction. Then we also discussed about the stone masonry in detail, right? We had rubble masonry and ashlar masonry. Now today we are going to move forward with the next type of masonry construction, that is brick masonry. Now students, if I talk about bricks, then you know that what is a brick, right? Now regarding the brick, single brick, I have discussed about the certain technical terms as well. If you remember, I had told you that look at the brick which you can see over here. Can you see two different images of the bricks? Yes. So what can we see for a single brick? I had told you that the length face will be called as stretcher and the width face will be called as header. Also, I discussed about the indentation or the depression which is provided on the top. Can you see the same thing over here? Yes, we can see that the names, the initials are inscribed into the bricks. What is that called? Please try to recall. Yes, that is known as frog. So now when you are discussing about the brick masonry, it means that if you are constructing one wall using the building units, building blocks as bricks. Okay, so how do you study this type of construction? It means that you are going to construct different types of bonds in the brick masonry, right? As likewise we studied in the stone masonry that we had rubble and we had ashlar masonry, and how they are differing from each other, but ultimately you are using them as the building units or the building blocks and you are constructing a wall. But the type, the size, the unit, the block, all of those things, the dimensions were varying. Even the surface, right? You had made it either rough tooled or smooth or random in shape or perfect in shape. Now here the bricks are going to come perfect in shape. The standard size of the bricks in the market according to Indian standards is 20 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter, right? This is your standard size. Now if you want to say that what is the actual size, then it is 19 by 9 by 9 centimeter, right? 20 by 10 by 10 is the prescribed standard size by the Indian standards. So if you talk about bricks, then we have four classes of bricks. I think you have studied all of these things in the basics of civil engineering, that we have class 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can also call it as class A, B, C and D. Now, how are the bricks made? They are made with burning certain raw materials, clay products and other waste products and materials, combining them, and by burning process the bricks are made. So depending on the burning of the bricks, the type of the bricks, the quality of the bricks, right? If you see a class 1 brick, first class brick, then it will be proper grayish, it will be proper reddish in color, right? And if you see the class 4 bricks, then they will be overburnt, they will be broken, they will be not perfect in shape, right? About the water consumption also, before using the brick as building construction unit, you have to soak it into water for at least 24 hours. So the water absorption will be very much less as in the class 1 and 2 as compared to class 3 and 4. So likewise, how your bricks are manufactured in proper size and shape, and each courses will have definite height. The height will be same as that of the brick, that will be 10 centimeter. Okay, so this is how your brick masonry construction is done. So now let us discuss about the different types of bonds which we are going to study in the brick masonry construction. So first, if I talk about the most simple type of bond which you can construct, then I will say header bond and stretcher bond, right? It is pretty obvious that if the stretcher faces are visible in the facing, then it is stretcher course, and if the header courses are visible, then it is a header course, right? Then after we will have two different basic type of bonds, right? Out of these two basic type of bond, different types will be derived. So the two basic type of bond which we have is English bond and Flemish bond. Okay. Now, based on the English bond and Flemish bond, I think I should say only English bond, different varieties, different modifications are obtained, and that makes your further flow chart which you can see of your different types of bond. Let us have a look that what else do we have. Then we have garden wall bond. So the garden wall bond is specifically used for non-load bearing walls, which is constructed in compounds and gardens. Further, that is divided into English garden wall bond and Flemish garden wall bond. Next we have is Dutch bond. Moving forward, we have zigzag bond. The name itself says that the bricks will be arranged in zigzag pattern. Generally, it is used for flooring. Then we have is raking bond. Now, what is raking bond? But further, raking bond is also subdivided into herringbone bond and diagonal bond. We are going to study all of these types of bonds in detail. Then we have header bond and stretcher bond, which I already told you, and the facing bond. So students, let us start with the first type of bond. This is your basic type of bond known as English bond. Now, how do you construct English bond? How do you arrange the bricks so that it becomes your English bond? So, look at the most simple type of sketch. Can you see over there? Then I will move forward. But first, look at the most simple type of sketch which is flashing over here. What can we see? Can you see that one full course is made up of header, then next course is made up of stretcher, then next course is made up of header. So what can you say is the bond which is constructed by providing alternate courses of headers and stretchers, then that type of bond is known as English bond. I suppose you know the meaning of course. I suppose you know the meaning of facing, header, stretcher. I have told you that do not try to study the masonry construction without remembering the technical terms, otherwise you will not be able to understand. So now let me show you more clear picture in a little bit of three-dimensional, you can say that. So what can we see again over here? We have one full course of stretcher bond, then next full course of header bond, right? Now, if you want to construct the thickness of the brick, right? 2 brick thickness, then can you see behind also you can see that is your backing, and the one which you can see in the front is facing. So you can make English bond 1 brick thickness, 2 brick thickness, 3 brick thickness, you can go up to 3 brick thickness. Also you can go for odd numbers also, 1.5 brick thickness. So the half brick will be in the backing. You can go for 2.5. So in the center part you will have half brick thickness, that will be your hearting portion. Okay, so English bond is considered to be the most strong bond, right? It is the strongest bond of all different type of bonds which are existing in the brick masonry construction, right? But there is one disadvantage, that it is not going to give you very much pleasing appearance as compared to other type of bond. This is a simple arrangement of headers and stretchers in alternate courses, right? But from the point of view of strength and stability and bonding, English bond is considered to be the strongest bond of all. What else does it say? Vertical joints of header come over each other, and likewise for the stretcher courses. Can you see in the image also? I am flashing a real constructed image as well, right? The header, the joints between the header will come exactly below the alternate header courses, and likewise for the stretcher, the joints you can see, the joints for the stretchers you can see that it is in one line, and the joints for the headers you can see is in one line, right? This is how your vertical joints have to come. If required, then you have to provide queen closure after first header. After providing the first header, do you remember what is queen closure? You are going to cut the brick across the length, if you remember, right? Also, you can also provide the coin header, right? I have told you what is a coin. It is the corner brick. Sometimes to start a course you may require king closer, queen closer or a half brick bat. So this is how you are supposed to construct as per the requirement. Okay students, so this makes your English bond. You can have varieties of thickness regarding this English bond construction. Next we are moving forward. Okay, in thick walls the hearting will have only headers, right? The hearting portion. If it is 2.5 brick wall, then the hearting portion will have only headers. It is obvious if you have to provide half brick thickness in the hearting portion. Next we are going to discuss about the Flemish bond. Now students, look at the images flashing over here. What can you see? What is the difference between English bond and this type of bond? Can we see that in single course alternate headers and stretchers are provided? In the English bond, alternate courses were provided. Here in each course alternate header and stretchers are kept. Can you see that? Yes, we can see that. So this is how you construct the Flemish bond. By laying alternate headers and stretchers in each course is known as Flemish bond. Now Flemish bond has the strength lesser as compared to the English bond. The bonding and the stability will be lesser, but it gives you more pleasing appearance as compared to the English bond. You can see for yourself that how this is a little bit good in appearance. So you will be selecting this one as compared to the English bond. Okay, also we have two types of Flemish bond. We have single Flemish bond and we have double Flemish bond, right? The difference is that in the single and double, the facing and hearting portion, in one of the type of Flemish bond it will be same, and in other you will have English bond at the backing. Okay, this is, you can also go for varieties of thickness of bricks in this, just like English bond. If I say that these two type of bond form the basic of all type of bonds, then it can be said so. So this is your example of a Flemish bond. Next we are going to discuss about the which type of bond. What can we see over here? We have is header bond and stretcher bond. As I told you that if you construct a full facing with courses such that stretcher faces are provided in the facing part, you can see only the stretcher faces in all the courses, then it is known as stretcher course. And if you are providing the brick such that its length is perpendicular to the facing, it means you are watching only the header faces, then this is known as header course. It is very poor in terms of strength and stability. It can be used for non-load bearing type of walls. It will be more safer to provide in such cases. Otherwise, this is not having much strength. Next, we are going to discuss, students, about the fifth type of bond, that is known as garden wall bond. Now see students, if you have understood the English and Flemish bond well, then you will be able to decide that what is appearing in the sketch, right? In the sketch, in the image which is flashing over here, if you have understood the even simple header and stretcher bond, then from the image itself you will be able to find out that how the construction is done, and you will be also able to understand the other type of masonry construction, that is your brick masonry bonds, if you have understood the English and Flemish bond. Now what can you see in the image just flashing over here? We can see that the first course you can see over here is made up of completely header. Then you can see that 3 courses are made up of stretchers. Again, next course is made up of headers. Then again your next courses are made up of 3 courses are made up of stretchers. So how can you define this type of bond, that is your garden wall bond? It means when you are constructing a masonry wall made up of bricks such that 1 course of header to 3 to 5 courses of stretcher. Full courses, right? Full courses, 1 header to 3 stretcher courses. It can be 3 to 5 stretcher courses is an example. It is a type of a garden wall bond. Now, garden wall bond will be again of 2 different types. It will have garden wall English bond and garden wall Flemish bond. Okay, so if I want to provide one course of header to 3 courses of stretcher, then it is garden wall, English garden wall bond. And if I am providing one header to 3 to 5 stretchers in one single course itself, then it is going to be your garden wall Flemish bond, correct? So this is, you can see that this is also an example of a modified form of a Flemish and English bond. Also you can call it as that, because in English bond you had only single courses of header and stretcher. In Flemish bond you had single header and stretcher. Here the number of stretchers are increasing, and hence it is known as modified form of English and Flemish bond also. Also you can see that the coins provided over here are headers and stretchers as well. It is depending upon the course. So in terms of strength, this is not going to provide strength as much as English and Flemish bond, right? In most cases, in most common cases for your normal construction, English and Flemish bond are generally used. So now here we can see that it is not as much strong, but still you can provide it. You can provide for the garden wall, for the compound walls, right, where extremely heavy loads are not coming. For non-load bearing walls also you can use this type of construction. So this makes your which type of bond? Garden wall bond. Now students, moving forward to the which type of bond do we have over here is raking bond. Now, raking bond is used when you want to provide even more thick walls, up to 4 brick thickness, right? In the English and Flemish bond, you can make 1 brick, 2 brick or 3 brick. You can go for 1.5, 2.5 and up to 3.5. Now, if you want to go up to 4 brick thickness, you require thick walls. If you want to provide for the pavement or any such cases, then this type of bond is used over there, known as raking bond. Now, raking bond is further divided into 2 different types, which you can see over here as well. We have first is diagonal bond and second we have is herringbone bond. Now, diagonal bond, the name itself says that the bond has to be made such that you are going to arrange the bricks in diagonal position. Let us see for the first type, that is your diagonal bond. We can see that the first and the last course are completely made up of stretchers. Correct? You can also see that the coins are provided. The coins are made up of stretchers again, and in between queen closures are also provided. Now, once this is done, you are going to provide the courses in diagonal pattern, starting from the first stretcher course to the last stretcher course. When you are providing the bond, you are arranging the bricks such that in a diagonal pattern, then it is known as diagonal bond. Also mark over here that only the stretcher faces are visible over here, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to always make this bond such that stretcher courses are made in all horizontal as well as diagonal directions. Next we have is herringbone bond. Now in the herringbone bond, again you have the first and the last course as stretcher courses. Then you have the point stretchers as well. You have queen closure in between. Now what you are going to do is you are going to have a reference line from the center of the wall. You are going to have a reference line at the center, and from that reference line, from that center, you are going to provide bricks in both direction at an angle of 45 degrees with that center reference line, that center horizontal reference line. Such kind of construction is known as herringbone bond. You are arranging the stretcher faces of the bricks such that they are at 45 degrees angle from the center horizontal reference line. For reference, image is also shown over here. So this is your example of which type of bond? This is herringbone bond. So the raking bond is divided into diagonal bond, and second we have is herringbone bond. Now moving forward to the next type of bond is Dutch bond. Now students, about the Dutch bond, you can call it as officially modified form of a English bond. Now you will also tell me that garden wall English bond is also somewhat same. Yes, they are somewhat same, they are somewhat similar. The name differs over here. Also the name, it's coming from the origin, that is why also it is named as Dutch bond. So what do we have is, it is a modified form of an English bond such that we will have one header to 2 to 3 stretcher courses. Just like the English garden wall bond, you can use it in the compound walls, in the non-load bearing structure. Dutch bond generally doesn't have very much strength, we know about that. So that is an example of a Dutch bond. And the last we have is zigzag bond. So I think the name itself says that the bricks are arranged in the pattern which is zigzag, right? But also we have over here is the stretcher course at the top and at the last. We also have the headers. We have the coin headers over here, and then it will be arranged in zigzag pattern. This is generally done for flooring purpose. Whenever you are providing a floor, you would have seen in a warehouse or a storage house, or even in the gardens where you want to provide a small footpath for jogging or walking, then in such cases zigzag pattern, zigzag bond of brick masonry construction is used. Now moving forward to the some defects which are observed in the brick masonry construction. Let me first talk about the first type of defect which is generally observed. Now we are going to discuss over here 4 types of general defects which are observed in brick masonry, which are common and it can be sorted easily. The first is sulfate attack. Now see, the brick is made using varieties of materials, right? Clay being one of the materials. Also, when the bricks are bonded together, it is done with lime mortar or cement mortar. Now, cement also contains lime, and if it is lime mortar, then pure lime is provided. So, it contains calcium. Now, whenever it comes in contact with the water which is having sulfates, the brackish water, sea water generally contains sulfate. So it is going to combine with calcium and form calcium sulfate, and this material has the property of expansion. So if it will expand, it will cause disturbance, it will cause undesirable damage and cracks. So this kind of type of defect which is generally observed in the form of expansion, that is your calcium sulfate, that is your sulfate attack. Next, second I am discussing about the crystallization of salt on the surface, commonly termed as efflorescence. Now look at the image flashing over here. What can you see? We can see white patches, white spots are seen on the surface of the brick. Can you see that? I think you would have seen this in your day-to-day life also. So this is your example of the salts which are present inside the bricks, right? Sometimes the chlorides are present in the bricks. So what happens is, when water evaporates, these salt crystals undergo crystallization and get deposited on the surface of the brick masonry construction. So what appears to us is the white patches or the white spots on the surface. So this is commonly termed as efflorescence. So how do you remove this type of defect? You can simply brush it off, you can wash it off with some solution or chemical, and efflorescence can be removed. Next, what do we have is corrosion of embedded steel. Now, sometimes brick masonry construction can be made, it will be reinforced brick masonry construction. It means you are embedding the steel bars, the reinforcement bars into the brick construction, just like you do in the concrete. Here, if that reinforcement steel bar is exposed to atmosphere, or if it undergoes any kind of undesirable change, then corrosion of these reinforcement steel bars will take place. So if corrosion takes place, definitely it is going to break the particles surrounding, the brick particles will get broken. The same you can see in the image also over here, that how it appears if the corrosion has taken place. So that is your corrosion of embedded steel, which will have to be replaced later on when you carry out the repairing work. The last we have is shrinkage on drying, right? Now, what is meant by shrinking? Whenever you evaporate the water from the cement mortar, right? the cement mortar is present in the joints between the brick masonry construction. Now what happens if excessive evaporation of water takes place under the sunlight or whatsoever condition? Then it is going to contract, it is going to shrink, and if it undergoes excessive shrinkage, it will develop cracks in the brick masonry construction. This type of defect which takes place, that is known as shrinkage on drying, shrinkage cracks on drying. Okay students, so this covers your full brick masonry construction work, including the defects which are commonly observed. So we shall move with the further masonry construction in further sessions. Till then, please watch all of the videos, and up to here, please keep all the technical terms and concepts in mind very well, as it is again going to help you further in the next sessions. Okay students, have a good day. Thank you.